Hello everyone! This is Happy Buddhism. This video will be the 10th in a series of explanations about Buddha's parable on the true nature of human existence. 10. The Three Dragons. When the traveller looks down at the great drop below him, he is startled to see three dragons, one blue, one red, one black, gazing hungrily up at him, waiting for him to fall into their open mouths. What do these three dragons represent? The blue dragon represents greed. The red dragon represents anger. The black dragon represents ignorance. Greed, anger, and ignorance are the three most dreadful blind passions, known as the three poisons. The blind passions are states that trouble and torment us. Buddhism teaches that there are 108 in all, and every human being is a mass of these 108 blind passions. Each one of the blind passions leads us to commit bad deeds and suffer as a result, but the ones that inspire the most terrible deeds of all are the three poisonous passions: greed, anger, and ignorance. Greed makes us want what we haven't got and want more of what we do have. We want money, possessions, praise, prestige, and an endless list of other things. We will go to all sorts of lengths just to get the things we want, even if it means doing harm to others, and never at any point do we feel fully satisfied, since once we have obtained one thing we desire, we want another thing, and so on and so forth. The bottomless nature of our desires is expressed with blue, the colour of the sea. When someone or something stops us from getting what we want, anger blazes up in our hearts. Once anger has overtaken us, we lose all sense of reason and easily end up destroying everything around us with the hellfire of our rage. How many times have we heard of people lashing out in anger and losing everything as a result? The fiery nature of our anger is expressed with the colour red. When we cannot outwardly express our anger towards whatever prevented us from getting what we desire, we stew inside with resentment. Even if we do not outwardly act upon our feelings of disgruntlement, we slice the other person to pieces in our hearts. We also begrudge others for having things that we want, thinking that we deserve these things more than they do, and fantasizing about snatching these things from their grasp. Such feelings of resentment, jealousy, and envy all stem from ignorance of the law of cause and effect, which teaches that own causes produce own effects. This sounds like a simple concept, but it is extremely difficult for us to swallow, especially when bad things keep happening to us. When we are going through extreme suffering, our logic goes out of the window and we reject the law of cause and effect. So, we think that someone else is responsible for our bad results. This leads us to hold grudges against people. The dark nature of our ignorance is expressed with the colour black. Constantly aswirl with greed, anger, and ignorance, our hearts can be as vicious and frightening as fierce dragons. Once the vine that is our lifeline finally snaps, the dragons within us pull us down into the world of suffering, a world of our own making. Well, that sounds pretty scary and depressing, doesn't it? Thankfully, though, Buddhism doesn't just tell us we create our own doom and then leave us to despair at our fate. It teaches that this is our situation not to drag us down, but because there is something that can be done about it. After all, recall the Four Noble Truths. The first two are that suffering exists and what it is that causes suffering, while the last two are that we can be liberated from our suffering and that there is a way this can be accomplished. Understanding and acknowledging the reality of humankind is the starting point on the path towards true, lasting happiness. Day in, day out, we single-mindedly obsess over gaining more honey, that is, satisfying our 5 desires, but Buddhism snaps us out of our honey-addicted trance and makes us look directly at the reality of our situation. It makes us see just what a frightfully precarious position we are in, while also declaring to us that there is a noble purpose that we were all born to accomplish in this life. That noble purpose is to at last find resolution to our suffering and live on in everlasting happiness. So keep listening to Buddhism at every given opportunity. Buddha's wisdom brings light to our lives. If you keep listening, you are sure to finally reach the cessation of suffering that Buddha specified we can achieve.